Get some liquid?
Yeah, I get a... Hi! I love you! Hello! You just poured rum down the front of your shirt.
Not much.
Not much.
Welcome to the Deadzone Podcast. Deadzone is the sci-fi tabletop miniature skirmish game from Mantic Games. And now, here are your hosts Rob Harper and Jack Fyke. I am your announcer, William Randolph Wintergreen.
Welcome to the 47th episode of Deadzone the Podcast for the beginning of 2016. In this episode, we lock down our Warpath Kickstarter pledge. As always, you can go to deadzonegame.podbean.com to see all the pictures, or you can go to youtube.com/c/Deadzone the Podcast for the video version of the show. And now on to the episode. Welcome to episode 47 of Deadzone the Podcast for the new year, 2016, Jack.
We're about to sing Old Lang Syne.
That was an actual, what are they called? Horn?
Pantomime.
It was an actual pantomime. In this episode, we're going to be mostly talking about the Warpath Pledge Manager to talk about.
Yeah, so it's going to be a little bit of a hodgepodge, a little potpourri of a show, but stick with us. Enjoy.
But we'll start off with some news.
No news.
We always do that. It's becoming a shtick now.
Sort of like picatures.
Yeah, I'm trying not to say picatures. I think it stopped becoming just something I say to something like, that's how I say it now. It's kind of sad.
Oh, no. So in your home life, you're like, yeah, come around. Look, I got some picatures. And your family looks at you like,
what the hell? Yeah. Pictures. Pictures.
Pictures. And news.
Pictures. No, pictures.
We begin with our first segment, the news.
So the first picture we have is some infestation previews that they've put out. And the first one is a rebel leader. He is a, what do they call it, sphere?
Yes, the fish man with his vaguely hammerhead shark head with the sharkish tail. And I like him.
Yeah, he's cool. I like how he's holding his gun.
You can tell that at Mantic, the sculpts are getting more refined. They're finding their footing. Much like a TV show, you got to get past the first season. You know, sometimes it's hit or miss. And now every sculpt is getting, it has the flavor. It's nice to see. It's happened fairly quickly too.
Yep, looking good. I like him a lot. He's got a little half cape.
I would like to see how he works in the new beta rules, where what his dealio is.
Yeah, just a rebel leader, because rebel leader's just a stat line, so it doesn't have to be the girl with the sniper rifle, I guess.
Yeah, but then they get those perks, those on the splats.
Yes, true. What new abilities he has. So it's an ogre terminator with minigun, and for some reason he's got like a shroud on his face. He's like the Phantom of the Opera.
He's like the Elephant Man.
Yeah.
Meets, well, you know what? If I was a Marauder, I would have a shroud over my head.
That's true. It improves the sculpt. He does have he's cool, but he is a Marauder.
I like the armor, the whole deal. I'd like to see because that's, I don't know. There were what were they called? The one Marauder.
The Commandos. Yeah.
Yeah, I liked them. I would like to see.
No, not Commandos. Commandos are regular ones, aren't they? The big. He's like a troll or a ogre.
Yeah,
he's an ogre, like not an orc. That's what it is.
Yeah, I liked their sculpts, like the head, whatever. It's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. These are all, we must say, these are all like 3D concepts. They're not full sculpts yet, so who knows what'll change. You can go to deadzonegame.podbean.com to check out the pictures there. And the next one we have is the, what are they called? The GCPS. We just call it corporation.
Yes.
There's a bunch of corporations here.
And what can you say? I think they fill the niche of the random trooper type. They've got the SWAT team looking, the armor, the
second one looks a lot like the aliens from the movie Aliens.
Yeah.
Looks like the corporation Marines, which they're obviously based on.
And I like the I like the idea. I like the sculpts. I like the concept, and they've been underutilized thus far in the game. Well, you had a Strider that you can configure that way. You knew they existed, and I like
Here's one without a helmet.
the nameless, faceless stormtroopers that they've become in the.
So this
sculpts.
one's got no helmet, so you can actually see his face. But
Yeah.
they're cool. They're very military. They could be modern military, really. They're not much different than modern military.
No, if you were looking just to have for a different game, they're the nice looking model.
Because they're just boots, and like literally, I bet you could see guys in U.S. military dressed like this. Especially the ones that are just pretty normal. Like the first one has like a crazy helmet with a bunch of scopes and stuff on it. But
Wouldn't it be funny if they all took their helmets off and they all looked like they were Maori?
oh, and they all have the same voice,
Yeah.
but some are short to be them.
Yes.
Subject 901 is the next guy. This is the one Jack's most interested in.
Yes, it looks like it's clearly a plague, but plague gone wrong. How does a plague go wrong? I don't know.
He's got like the Weapon X Wolverine helmet, which I like.
Yeah, you can tell that that's an experiment that gone horribly awry. Either either they were trying to plague up a human to create a super soldier, or that's a plague that's wearing the shroud of its former self. But it's
cool because he's got like a plate with wires coming out. He is very much Weapon X Wolverine. He's got like wires coming out the middle, and
yeah.
and he's a leader, so it'll be interesting to have a stage 2 leader.
Now, is he a stage 2?
Yeah, he's a stage 2. They said somewhere along the way.
Oh, okay. Because without anything to show scale,
yeah.
I just assumed he was another stage 3, like a
Stage 1 or stage 3?
or stage 1 like Simmons, but
or stage 3, yeah.
with
He's cool though, yeah, he's stage 2. And we finally get some better shots of the Murder Birds.
yeah, they look awesome.
They're pretty cool. They're like a bunch on a stand, and then this one's on a wall that's got bullet shots into it. And
Looks like a computer console. No, it's a wall.
yeah, it's a wall. There is some.
At first when I saw it, it looked like an arcade game, but then again,
It's just a bust up wall. Yeah.
yeah, no
look at
one
these
born
ones.
after 1989 would know what the hell that is.
And this one looks like the bigger one here looks like a condor or something all plagued up.
It looks like a Skeksis with actual wings.
He does actually, but it's cool that you could use these for undead birds in any game too.
Yeah. There's
Look at the details on the wings too, the feathers.
in Kings of War. There's I think I forget what it was called, but in the one of the army lists there were these.
Was it Empire Dust?
Yeah, I think so. And
These would be great for that because they kind of remind me of that kind of.
I like the nice clear flight sand.
Yeah,
for
hopefully
one.
they come with those for sure.
The
The other one on a box.
like on a weapon crate type thing. I understand that these are for for Warpath, and they are for like the plague army in the Mantic world, but they would fit in any game. If you played any of the role playing games, or you want to field a really sketchy looking bird, it's a really nice looking sculpt. Again, without a scale, who knows? But it looks like it's a like vulture size, like a big ass bird.
It's a big ass bird. And also, that's all for the pictures. But Mantic just released 1.4 for the Deadzone Redux rules.
Yes.
They added the stuff we talked about with Coach, the stuff that they suggested, like the new style of shooting for certain weapons, which we don't like. It's like a wimped out version of fire. What is it? Fire.
Blaze away.
Yeah, but what do they call it? Fire for effect. They call
Yeah.
it. I don't like that. But they did maybe overfix the frag problem that it was blowing up too much.
The grenades affecting the ninth
They really
square
nerfed
side.
them,
Yeah.
Because they made it so that they don't affect the next square over at all. Maybe they should have just pinned them or just not knocked them back, but just knocked them down. But
They overcompensated.
yeah,
It's like when you're driving and your head does that bob, and you notice that you've hit the rumble strip on the side of the road, and you jerk the wheel, but you go across
all the way over the other
dotted
way.
lines. Yeah, like the what? Oh God! And then I think that's what happened. Eventually, you're gonna shake your head a couple times and get into that into your lane and go, "Oh, that was crazy."
Was there anything else that you noticed from the?
Shooting from elevation.
Oh yeah, they added that. Yeah.
And the those are some that we had some nitpicks. We discussed it with Coach. We're not the only ones, obviously, because this version here addressed a lot of the things we had brought up and brings a lot of stuff in line. But as a bonus, they started adding more of the army lists, more of the getting that sorted out, more leaders for the army, for the strike teams. It's there. It's moving, and it's
slowly coming around. Yeah,
it's coming around.
And they also fixed the damage explanation example. The example is wrong. Remember?
Yeah.
They fixed it so it makes sense now. So damage is resolved better, which is pretty much size is your hit points, but you can go to 0. So you have to go negative to get killed, kind of.
Yeah, because it went from your size is your hit points, brilliant.
But equal to your size with your hit points. So it was just like you get your size 1, you get 1 damage, you're dead.
Right. Then it went to you had to match the hit points you had. What was it? It was something like, again, like it went from simplistic and like, okay, that's a good, and it went wild where
even now it's still not simple. My solution is to just double everybody's size so that size does equal hit points.
Yeah, we
so you can fit 8 guys, 8 people per square per team in each square instead of 4, and because it does each size because it doesn't matter. Then you can have Z's be size 1, so
yes.
They are smaller.
Now that expands the range that you can. We've discussed this before.
No, not on the show. I don't think we.
Oh.
That's why I was bringing it up with this whole doubling of size. I think this is the way to fix this.
Because we've just wandered into this. Do we want to?
I don't think we have much more to say about it.
Designate a. Oh, well, we have plenty to say. We find plenty to say about almost nothing.
Well, we'll how about this next time? Because hopefully by next time we'll have another version of the rules. We'll go over it again more in depth.
Okay,
We'll save it for next time. And if anybody has any ideas about if they've read the Dead Zone rules and have any of their suggestions or ways they think that it should work, let us know.
Yes,
write to us at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com.
Because the rules committee will probably have another version by the time we get around to it, so it might be a
second
point.
Show, yeah.
But yeah, I think it does deserve next show. It does deserve an in-depth look at that particular rule, just our theory and the way it works out.
Yep.
And speaking of which, to the rules committee, you're doing a lot of good work, and thanks because. It's time and energy you don't have to spend, but certainly your input has.
We appreciate it. Yeah,
we've appreciated it, and it has vastly improved a game that I didn't know had that much room to improve on, and that's sincere.
And it's good to get real gamers' opinions on the game too.
Right.
We'll take a quick break here for a minute to Gad, and we'll be right back to talk about the Warpath Pledge Manager.
You have been listening to the Dead Zone Podcast with your hosts Jack Fike and Rob Harper. The Dead Zone Podcast is dedicated to Dead Zone, the tabletop miniature game by Mantic Games. Visit themanticgames.com.
Hey, this is Community Pat, and you are listening to Rob and Jack on Deadzone the Podcast.
And welcome back to the Dead Zone Podcast. My name is Jack, this is my co-host Rob, and we are going to discuss how much money he is going to spend on Kickstarter.
On the Warpath Kickstarter, yep. So we got the Ultimate Tyrant pledge, because I said I was going to go big if they offered it, and I did. And then added in another... I don't know. It's like $600, I think, total.
Yeah. You did not have to go home. You did go big.
I did go big and did not go home because I don't have a home anymore because I sold it to go big.
Yes. The bank foreclosed on his home so that he could get murder birds and bursters.
Are you going to sing? No, I called you out. There's no more singing. Yes, so this pledge is the Ultimate Tyrant, and it does come with 6 battle groups, 2 free vehicles, and a bunch of other stuff. Let's see what exactly it comes with here, if I can find it.
So basically what we're going to do is we're going to talk through our what we think we're going to do with this pledge. And if we cannot come to consensus, if we have any extra coin, any shekels left over, or we're unable to figure out the exact details, we're going to, via the Twitters or Facebooks or whatever, we're going to see what the populace thinks And you, our faithful listeners at home, may be telling us what we have to purchase.
Yep. So it does come with the all 3 books, which is the Firefight rulebook, the Warpath rulebook, and the source book. And it comes with digital versions of all those. 2 sets of dice, which is nice. So you get 16 dice, plus a bunch of counters, plastic counters, and then 2 hard plastic vehicles and 6 battle groups. So that's what we'll have to go through here. And we've talked about what all these are before, but just as a refresher, we'll go through each battle group, and we'll do the pros and cons of each battle group, and then we'll see which ones we think.
Is that how we're going to do this?
I think so. We'll start with battle groups at least.
Yes.
We'll do battle groups, take a break, and then come back for vehicles and other add-ons. How's that sound?
So we'll do a quick blurb, say we'll probably yes or no, rule it out, or add it to the maybes, and then we'll narrow it down.
Yep. So first battle group they offer is the Operation Heracles 2-player set, which is Enforcers and Forge Fathers. And it pretty much is half of what you'd get with the other ones, but you're missing the Striders, or you're missing Striders and the Enforcers at least. But you still get the special characters and stuff. So the question is, and you don't get Brockers with the Forge Fathers.
So the question is, do you want to get a battle group that has a little of both, or would you, since you got with the Ultimate Tyrant, you have the wiggle room that some people might not have. Do we just go with the full battle group from each independent one?
The good thing about the battle groups, as we'll go through later, is that they have more stuff in them, a variety, right? This just has it doesn't even have that much. You only get like 2 extra. I think you get 1 dog, and then.
If it were the 2 of us getting in on the ground floor and we both needed an army to play, I would say that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it's a great starter, but
as a starter, I can't imagine a better way to start with Enforcers and Jet Bikes and the Forge Fathers with the Iron Ancestors.
Yeah, they get one Iron Ancestor.
Come on.
And a Hailstorm Cannon, which we already have, but it's probably not, because I think we're going to go bigger than that.
So for us, I think we can safely say that's not going to be an option.
So the first group is the Enforcers, which this is a question mark because I do have so many Enforcers, but this does come with extra Peacekeepers, love 4 more Jet Bikes. I'm already getting tons from Infestation. Comes with 2 Striders, or an Ajax Strider and a regular Strider. The Ajax Strider is the new Strider. It's like hand-to-hand weapon.
Or like a breaching tool.
Yeah. It's got. I think it's got a chainsaw too, doesn't it? Yeah, it's got a chainsaw. So it's finally a Enforcer Strider with a chainsaw, because we don't usually get those. And you get 2 dog drones and a bunch of other things. So it's pretty good, especially for what you get. It's a great price. All these separately, they're all $75 each. So that's definitely a maybe, I think, the Enforcers.
Yes.
That's definitely on the list. Next is the Enforcer Interceptors, the planes. And for me, this is a yes for sure.
Okay, so that's 1 battle group down.
Because this one comes with 3 Interceptors, plus it comes with exclusive weapon options for the an Arbiter Interceptor variant. Plus you get the equipment for the Bomber variant. So you get 3 different variants, and you get 3 ships. So you get 1 of each, pretty much. I think that's a no-brainer. 3 ships, 3 planes. They're pretty cool.
Yes, so 1 battle group down.
So we got one locked in for sure, is the Forge Fathers. I mean, not Forge Fathers, this is what's coming up next, the Interceptors. Next is the Forge Fathers. As we said before, it's just a bigger version of what you get in the Heracles. Because this one you get 2 Iron Ancestors, which we don't have any Iron Ancestors.
Right.
You get Brockers, which you didn't get before. You get the Yotan, which you already have 1, but you can always use another, plus a ton of Enforcers, plus a special character. We don't have very many Forge Fathers. This is one group we never got in the original Infestation.
That the first Dead Zone experience did not contain that much in the way of, like, we have Asterians, we have obviously the Rebs, we have
everything but the Forge Fathers.
Forge Fathers have slipped through our grasp, and
every time I've built a few, like we got a few, I think the Iron Ancestors or something with one of our pledges. I think it came with the second wave of Dead Zone, and they were really nice models, and I really liked them. I was never a really dwarf guy, but now.
And I'm going to say that's probably a sold on that one, for just because you have said in the past you enjoyed painting those models. Yeah. And we don't
really
have
nice.
Them. It's to be able to play them and to be able to when we're doing our play testing for a community pat or even for the beta, to be able to play test another faction. I'm going to have to say that's probably like Group 2.
And the Brockers that you get here, remember that before we were arguing if that Brocker was I forget who it was who painted it up. We were saying, oh, no way, that's a Mantic model, and it turned out to be a Mantic model. He's in this group,
he had the like
thing hammer over his shoulder,
yeah. And he was standing there all cocky like, and it was a stock model. We had not seen it.
Well, because we never looked at Space Wars before then. And it also comes with this new dog and the General, it's a great model too. I'd want to have that model no matter what. So that saves $8 by getting this.
Okay, well there you go. We're saving money.
So we got 2 locked in. We got so far the Interceptors and Forge Fathers. Next is the Forge Father tanks. This is a maybe for sure because the tanks are super cool. We're definitely going to get 1. The question is, do we need 3?
We're not playing Warpath per se. We will be playing Warpath, but we're not playing Warpath per se.
But you get a Sturmhammer battle tank, a Drakkar APC, and a Brander urban assault vehicle. Or 3 of 1.
It's a maybe.
It is a maybe, but
because even for Deadzone to be able to field 1 vehicle would be way too costly, I'm sure. But to have 1 on the edge, like to as a deployment.
But what about 3 on the board as a deployment?
Or objectives.
That's right. You just have tank there. You have to stand on the tank to get the 2 points.
See, I'm sold. No, we can't.
We'll see. We got 2 locked in and lots of maybes.
Yeah.
Next is Veermen. We've always said we have too many Veermen coming from Infestation.
Is there too many?
But that's the thing. Every time we look at Veermen, we love them more. And this gives you a lot of Veermen, plus their new hero, plus one of the big tanks, plus the Night Terror. I don't know. What do you think about the Veermen, Jack?
Infestation is that's the X factor right here. Right now, I'm looking at that going, I want to paint some Veermen.
But we're going to have Veermen coming.
But we're going to have Veermen. The problem is I'm a small, pitiful man with a lizard-sized brain, and I am looking right now.
Mm-hmm. And this is a lot more. You get a lot more of each.
And I'm just going on instinct. I'm like, I'm leaping at the insect that has darted in front of me, and I
6 shredders.
I would love to just start painting Veermen right now.
They're cool, and they are very cool looking. That's a definite maybe.
Definitely.
It was always out until now. Next is the Veermen Tunnelers. Once again, we're going to get 1 of these. But the question is, do we need 3? And if you get the Veermen Tunneler battle pack, you get that extra section. So you make 1 doubly long.
Yeah.
Is that worth it? Do we need 3 plus a doubly, or 2 plus a doubly long another one?
In Deadzone, do you plan to play Veermen much?
No, but you probably do. You want to play Veermen, right?
I kind of want to play them. I want to play them and paint them like you do the Forge Fathers.
Yeah.
Whereas it was not an option, not considered. Oh, who cares? Who cares? And then you see them.
Yeah, I know.
And now I'm thinking,
I like them too, but I'd rather play Forge Fathers probably now. So what about the Tunnelers? You think if we get the Veermen battle group, we should get the Tunnelers too?
That's a lot.
It is quite a bit, but you do get that extra section. So it's actually almost 4 vehicles for the price of 3.
Okay, let's keep going.
Okay. Next is the Plague. And the problem with the Plague battle group is it doesn't have a good selection of Plague in it.
Right.
It doesn't have... The only new thing it has in it is the Stage 3s. It doesn't have the Bursters. It doesn't have the Murder Birds. It doesn't have... It has Subject 901.
But no Abomination.
No Abomination, yeah.
What it has is...
a lot of zombies and a lot of 3rd gens.
And the 3rd gens are the new sculpts, and the new sculpts are fantastic. They're way better than the generation that I have.
But you can buy... They're like $1 each when you buy them as add-ons. We'll get to add-ons later, but I think...
If we're getting on the ground floor, and I looked and went, oh, Heracles has space dwarves and armor guys. I don't care about either. Mm-hmm. And I said, look at that Plague.
Especially the thing that really attracted you was the 8 Plague Dogs. They should sell Plague Dogs in
8 Plague Dogs. I'm telling you, if I was getting in right now and you said I would snatch that up in a second.
Yeah.
In a second. 8 Plague Dogs, enough zombies for a horde, and then your troops. But for us, already having gotten all the Plague from the first run, all the Plague from all your
crazy boxes
and stuff like that. I would almost have to rule that out for us right now.
Yeah, I think that's another one that's out for sure. Next one is probably something that's out also because we have so many already, is the Asterians. We just painted up a ton of Asterians. We don't play them that much.
No, they don't strike either of our fancies.
No, I like them, but I don't know. I like them.
Well, we don't hate them, but they just don't elicit to the...
I do want the new drones and the new weapons platforms. But we are getting a ton of Khaleesi with the infestation,
so that one
it might be an add-on for those ones.
I'm not feeling it for.
And in the Asterian transport, the Chira transport, we definitely got to get one. I don't think we need three.
We don't need three.
No, we want one just because we want one of each vehicle, but not three. So that was an easy one. Next one's the one I think both of us are really interested in is the GCPS, the new
the corporation.
Corps.
Yeah.
And we talked about these guys earlier, how cool they think they look. But this battle group's kind of neat. It's 40 Corporation troopers, pretty generic, but I'm sure you get a lot of selection. But you get two heavy weapon teams, which is kind of cool. A major general, 2 striders, a mule transport, and the hero. And that's a pretty good group. I think that's an in for sure.
As far as I'm concerned, we could double that as an in.
Two of those? I don't know. I don't think we need 80 troopers. We're gonna have a lot of, because we'll have a lot of striders if we get the enforcer striders too, right? These are because the striders so far are just the same as the enforcer striders.
Striders, obviously, that's a huge draw.
And we're gonna get more mules because we'll probably later on we'll talk about the plague mules.
The mules again. I like the concept. I think they will work well in Deadzone as well as Warpath.
Mm-hmm. They are almost something that seem more likely. I'm not sure about the size, but if the size in the picture is equal, they could be on a major road in a Deadzone board. You could. Well,
I'm gonna put them down. At least that battle group, one of that battle group. Boom, we're halfway done.
So yeah, we're halfway done. And the last battle group of the regular troops is the Hornet dropships. 3 Hornet dropships. They're for the corporation. And there's plague versions, but the battle group doesn't say the plague version. So I think it's more like we should buy the singularly one of each, maybe, instead of the battle group.
It'd be nice to know if, like the Striders, you open up the box and there was add-on bits along with it so that you could make it one or the other. Without that knowledge, we can't really step forward on that. I don't think we need 3.
No, I think 2 would be good, one of each. And then there's these random battle groups. They have the Martian battle group for Mars attacks. Not really into it. Does come with flying saucer, which is kind of cool, and you like the jumping flea. But
yeah, the guy on the flea. But
but that's for the human group, isn't he? There's like flea-like creatures in this one though. But yeah, Martians, and then there's the Martian robots.
The Martian robots, on the other hand, are just a really fun model, and
they're quite large too.
I would paint that just to enjoy.
So once again, maybe just get one.
You could feel that for a LARF.
Yeah, but they don't really fit in with Deadzone. They're much more cartoony. They're cool, but they're cartoony.
Well, that's the LARF part when you're like, okay, and all of a sudden you got a Martian and a robot strolling on through.
Part of the Rebs.
But we don't need it.
And last battle group is the human battle group, which is just pretty much army men.
Yeah, it's a
and there's some of these I already have because I have the Novus Corps guys. We already painted them out.
Yeah.
So, and you get a truck. The truck's kind of cool, but even that's just a truck.
But I would rather have, instead of those various army men of Earth and a truck, I would rather go Corp day in, day out. 40 looking SWAT team members and a mule and the...
So, do you want to lock in what we're going to do, or we locked in 3? The other 3?
We locked in 3. We locked in some interceptors. We locked in the Forge Fathers. We locked in the Corporation.
I think we should lock in the Veermen.
Okay, that's 4.
Now, vehicles. See, we didn't lock in Enforcers, did we? No.
No, but...
really, the only good thing about the Enforcers is the Striders. We can buy Striders. But then we got to buy the Leader separate, too.
We have a buttload of Pathfinders coming through Infestation. Much like the... I don't know...
2 more, right?
Yes.
And definitely not Asterian, definitely not Plague. Asterian Transport will buy singularly. Hornets will buy singularly. So it's Veerman Tunneler, Forge Father Tank. We get 2 more?
Yes.
So we got to drop off one of these. Enforcers, Forge Father Tanks, or I think Forge Father Tanks should be in for sure. So now we have to choose between Tunnelers and Enforcers.
Oh.
whatever we don't get in Enforcers, we'll have to buy separately. But I don't think we need 15 more, 20 more Enforcers, 10 more Pathfinders, 5 more Peacekeepers. I'm already getting more Peacekeepers, getting tons of Pathfinders.
I've yet to paint an Enforcer.
Do you want Enforcers to paint?
I'm just saying.
And then we just buy the 1 Tunneler separate? Do we need 3 Tunnelers? That's now the question.
That's what I'm saying. The additional 1 unit there that you get from that to make
the 4th, the wide, longer one?
Long tunnel, or again, when we're playing Warpath, it might be the wrong choice, but...
Want to leave it up to the listeners? What do you think, people? Enforcer battle group or for Virmine Tunneler? Let us know on Twitter at Deadzone Podcast or on Gmail at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com or on the comments in this video on deadzonegame.podbean.com. Let us know which one. Enforcers, or even if you can sell us on any of the other ones we haven't chosen.
Yeah, but we're pretty narrowed down. That last one, yeah. Help us out, people. So that's it. We've decided that's
we got the add-ons to go through.
What?
Take a short break. We'll come back and talk about the add-ons.
It's time to enter the Strike Zone.
The Strike Zone Podcast is the ultimate guide to the miniature sports game, Dreadball. From the ringside seats of an underground Dreadball Extreme match to the glitz and glamour of Dreadball Classic, the Strike Zone strives to bring you the latest and greatest Dreadball has to offer. I am your host, Adam, aka Mr. Voxman, and you can find out more at warmoreradio.com.
What's up, guys? This is Coach coming back to you with Rob and Jack. This is the Deadzone Podcast.
Okay, and we're back. So we forgot to add our 2 vehicles, our 2 free vehicles.
We didn't forget. That's what we're doing right now.
So we might as well add the... we know we're going to get the Plague/Corporation Flyer.
I wasn't aware that that was a given.
Well, you're going to get all the vehicles. That is a given no matter what.
Yeah, but that's your thing. That's your particular kink. Do
you want to go over every vehicle and see which one?
Like if I'm making a movie, and whereas Tarantino would linger on Uma Thurman's
toes, yeah,
I would perhaps linger on, say, Selma Hayek's chest. It's for each their own. Vehicles aren't my particular kink. You can Tarantino it up over there, but I'm going to be like Russ Cormaning over here.
So it's a choice between the Asterian vehicle. I don't know why I'm even saying this. We're going to get all 5 of these vehicles. Because we're already getting the Enforcer Interceptor and the tank, the Forge Father tank. So it's just the choice between the Virmine Tunneler, the Plague/Corporation Flyer, and the Asterian Chima. It doesn't really matter.
So you're saying, as a completionist, you should have them all anyway.
Yeah, we just have to buy an extra 1 and probably an extra 2 because probably want a GPS and a Plague Flyer.
So I'm going to say, for one of those vehicles, has to be the Plague Flyer.
Yes, and it's going to be and a Corporation Flyer. So we're getting for the free ones. We'll say we're getting one of the Corporation/Plague Flyers and the Virmine vehicle, Tunneler, and then we're going to buy another Corporation Flyer and the Asterian vehicle.
Okay, well, because if
that gives us all the vehicles,
all
the big vehicles.
If the fans decide that we should go Enforcers rather than Virmine Tunnelers.
Oh yeah, we'll switch it up. We'll put the tier achievements there. I forgot that. Yeah, we haven't decided yet.
But it's not like we have to have that Asterian flyer.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Okay,
we do have we modified up a 40K tank. Tau, I guess it's a Tau tank.
We were at Adepticon. There was a booth. They were selling cheap,
out of box pre-made stuff.
Obviously, someone had that on the table for a long time, and who knows? They might have discontinued it. Maybe you can't use it anymore for whatever reason. It was like $30.
Yeah, for a nice pre-made tank. So I painted it up to look like our Asterian. So we already do have an Asterian tank, but this one's like a transport, so we do need that one too.
Yeah. And basically use it for scenery, so it's not, we don't have stats for it or anything like that.
Yeah. Unless they, for some reason, figure out a way to stat up for 6x4 games of Deadzone. But by then, I guess they want you to play Firefight probably at that point.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go through all the different add-ons here, and we'll talk about everything. Obviously, you can buy all the battle groups separately. We're not going to get another battle group, I don't think, because we're going to get everything separately.
Yeah, we already have our battle groups sorted out.
We don't need to buy any extra. We're not getting another corporation battle group.
When we had discussed this earlier during our pre-show, I had petitioned perhaps for that. I was chastised thoroughly.
That is 80 corps.
But imagine. I'm just saying.
All the people.
I like the model. I like the
God knows we can get more later.
Yeah.
Crazy Boxes next year will be probably filled with them.
Speaking
of which, right now Crazy Box is on at Mantic. They have a sci-fi one, which is obviously great for Deadzone. It's going to be random models, but they also have something called the Uber Crazy Box.
Oh.
Who knows what's in the Uber? But we'll find out, because I've ordered some.
How much is the Uber Crazy Box?
It's double the price, I think, of the regular Crazy Box. So it's like, I think one's $50 and the other one's $100, maybe?
And what's the shipping and handle on that to get that to
I think it was free shipping.
Oh.
I think it was free shipping. I'm going to pay duty, probably. God knows it. Canada. Duty.
You said duty.
Although I didn't have to pay duty on the last thing I ordered from them, so I think it matters how big the box is.
Oh.
So they look at it and they go, oh, that locked box is pretty big. It's got to be expensive. And if it's a little box, they don't think it's expensive.
And so if it's...
Because I got Uncharted Empires, I got some crossbowmen, and I got some paints from them, and they didn't charge me duty.
And it probably depends on what it's labeled as, if it says toys or if it says plutonium.
It's true. Mantic, stop labeling your stuff plutonium. It costs us a lot of money.
Yes, and we had a VW van full of Iranians pull up one time.
Wasn't pretty.
No.
Luckily, we went back in time. Because we got to go back in time.
Oh, well, Huey, can we just get on with the show?
We've wasted so much time. We'll probably have to edit all this out. This will be all outtakes.
We had a show with Coach that I thought was an hour long, and I listened to a half an hour. Oh, I'm halfway through. Yeah. And I told you I listened to it halfway through, and I listened to the other half, and I'm doing the air quotes.
We had more after the credits than... Yeah, if you didn't listen to after the credits last time, you missed half the show.
Yeah, because it was just us with Coach shooting the... And,
yeah, it was a good show. So, okay, add-ons. First add-ons is some scenery stuff. They have a 6x4 deluxe mat. Deluxe battle mat. I assume it's going to be the mousepad material. No grid on it, so Deadzone.
Yeah.
We have some 6x4 mats already. I do have one that's made out of mouse material, plus we have one from Mats by Mars.
Mats by Mars makes such a fantastic product. We already have...
And it's got a grid on it.
Yeah, and for us, we're covered.
Yeah, I have a fat mat from... who makes them? Anyways, you look up fat mats. There's one of those.
So when we do Warpath, we're covered there as well.
It's a great price, though. It's only $65. Usually mats for 6x4 are about $100. So it's a pretty good price. If you don't have a mat, I would definitely... If we didn't already have mats, it would be a guarantee, I think.
And if you just want to buy it and put it on eBay, make some shekels, well, then sure, but...
Yeah, you might be able to make some money off it.
But for us, Mats by Mars has us covered on the Deadzone front, and when we do dip our toes, get our tootsies wet in the Warpath, we already have that fat mat that you've had for probably 2 years.
Yeah, at least, yeah, probably.
And
I bought it for Kings of War. We just haven't. Jack hasn't finished painting his armies yet.
Well, you just finished painting yours, so
my third army. Yeah, I just finished painting my third army. Yes, no, fourth army. Sorry. Actually, I'm about halfway through my fourth army. The next add-on is the ever-present accessory sprue for $5. I don't think we need to buy these. I'm sure they'll be full. The crazy boxes will have tons of these. The next one is interesting. It's the new industrial accessory sprue. We don't have any of these, but we'll probably get some of those with Infestation.
Yes.
It's got the
conveyor belts.
Conveyor belt. That's what I was looking for. And then they also have the pipe network accessory sprue, which has all a bunch of pipe bits, and they're only $5. All these things are only $5. It's pretty good.
That is pretty good.
There also is the bunch of different...
How much extra money do we have to spend here? Like, what's...
Well, after adding the ships that I just added?
Yeah.
Probably not that much, plus shipping. But it doesn't matter. We can always add more money on. It might go above $600.
That flies in the face of everything I believe in.
That's already been paid for.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying, where are we on that?
Right now, I would look at we're at $485 currently, out of $600.
Oh, so we got some room.
Oh, sorry, it's our credit is $545.
Still,
that's where our credit is. So we're got about $60 more.
$60. Okay, because accessories are all pretty cheap. None of the accessories are, and 60 Striders. Like, it's not going to be...
We're not there yet.
Oh.
So, I don't think... We do have a lot of terrain, not battle zone terrain. I don't think we have to buy more terrain.
We have a lot of the battle zone terrain from our that we've purchased individually. We have more coming from Infestation.
Plus, we've got all those other terrain we have from all the different companies.
Yeah, but even if we stayed stock...
Oh, yeah, we have tons from Infestation coming, too, yeah.
We're good on terrain.
They also offer the Urban Streets Damaged Secret Weapon boards.
And I did... My sphincter puckered thusly when I did see the price of that.
$250, which I know people pay a lot more money for a full board.
Yeah.
But it is quite expensive.
And I've seen them painted. I know they look great. Everything tells me that is something that is desirable, but I could not bring myself. Now when there's all these other options, even if it's not my money and knowing what's on there, I would not be able to in good conscience. I'm sorry, Secret Weapon. I love your washes. I'm a fan of Secret Weapon. But I couldn't.
Okay, so next options are some more vehicles. There are more bigger things here. We got the Corporation Mule formation. $40 for 3, or single ones are, I believe, are $18. Mules, we're getting one with our GCPS battle group. Do we need more?
Of all the vehicles there, that's the one I think if we had an abundance, it would be good.
But they also offer the Plague version for the same price. Should we get 3 of the Plague version, plus we'll have one of the regular?
Again, it would be nice to know if it came Mule with Plague add-ons.
Or is it 2 separate things?
Or is it 2 separate, molds?
Yeah. So we'll probably definitely get 3 of the Plague ones.
Really? That's shocking to me.
Why?
I don't think we need 3 of any.
Well, that'll give us 4 total of mules. You just said we needed more.
Yeah, but
next is the
Holter
Half Track, which is the smaller tank-like thing for the Forge Fathers. 3 for $40, or 1 for I believe it's $18 again. Yep. Well, these we probably only need 1, I would think.
Do we need any at all?
It's a vehicle.
Okay. Yes, I forgot. Keep lingering on Uma's feet.
Next is Iron Ancestors. $40 for 3, which is a great deal. But we're already getting some in the... I think we're getting 2 in Forge Fathers, so I don't think we need any more of those. Jet Bikes, 10 for $40, but I'm already getting 10 from
Herein lies the rub. You already think that your minimum already have 10 on the way.
Yeah, I think I might have 12, actually.
Minimum 10 on the way. Like there's a cargo container with 10 minimum on the way. Yeah. Do we need any more?
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I would ask that maybe I could paint one of them just for the fun.
I don't know. I do only have 12. Jack, you know that I leave things here for you to paint all the time.
Yeah.
Next is the Marauder formation, which is a bunch of different Marauders. You know how we feel about Marauders.
Yeah.
I don't think we need to talk any longer about that.
No.
And next, after that, is the Mars Attack Saucer formation. Once again, Mars Attack stuff looks good, but not really aesthetically right.
It looks good, and it would be fun to make an army for Dead Zone and play the Martians, but there's so many other options that I would enjoy more. Again,
and the question is, so far we haven't seen any rules for Martians in Dead Zone Redux. So
I know that there's probably fan-based rules, and I know that Mantic will eventually make that.
And so far you can use the old rules, the stats and stuff. The points might be a little off, but everything else will be fine.
Mantic will eventually address that, but do I feel any draw towards the Martians? No.
Here's one for you. Is the Plague formation. Comes with 2 aberrations and 2 teratons. $40 for 4 models.
And the thing is, for Warpath, that's probably great. That probably allows you to really bulk up an army. I'm trying to build strike zones, strike teams, and
aberrations. You'll probably never have 2 of them. They'll be so expensive.
The aberration, like if it was just them.
Yeah,
I would say that's a no-brainer.
For two of them for $20 instead of 4 things for $40.
Or 2 of them and then just zombies or something like a base troop. But I would never be able to put a strike team together that required 2 teratons in it. Never mind, I already have 2 teratons.
Yeah, there'd be 2 extra teratons.
There'd be 2 extra teratons just for
And aberrations, we're already getting one
Aberrations.
aberration.
So I would have to rule that out as like an obviously no.
And second last is the Strider formation. That's 3 Striders in any combination, because they're showing pictures of the Enforcer, the Ajax, and the Reb, which is the same as the Plague. So for $40 for 3 Striders, do we need more Striders? We're getting 3 more Striders at least in all of our things here. Plus, we already have 2 Striders each.
And I would say
Or 1 Strider each, I should say.
err on the side of more Striders.
You think for $40 we should get 3 more Striders?
Like you said, it's a vehicle, and you've already paid for it. I'm just following. For
We
some
already have some coming. It's not like we're...
for some reason, I'm like, yeah, I can get into toes. I think maybe like I'm just taking a
Strider's your toe.
I'm taking a glance into your world.
Okay, we'll throw for you. We'll add extra Striders. And last of these mini vehicles is the Veerman Tunnel Runner. 3 for $30, 1 for $15. I think it's no brainer. 3, right?
3, obviously. You're getting one for free. Like, come on.
And they're awesome. They're rats in balls.
And we've already determined that's one of the battle groups we're getting.
Yeah,
so
we're going heavy rat. We're going heavy rat here.
by the time Infestation's done and this is done, but I'm telling you, I'm really like
I wonder if we can magnetize up the weapons on the rats to make it so we can use them in Kings of War also. Make them medieval or sci-fi rats. Is that possible?
Probably not, but
Maybe. Other options, you can buy a single Ajax Strider for $18. We already got 3 extra Striders coming. Single figures, here we go. Enforcer Lieutenant Rocca. If we don't get the Enforcer battle group, we'll buy her, because I want all the special characters.
you have a completionist thing there.
Yeah.
I understand that.
So if we do get Enforcers, we don't have to worry about it. She's in there. Forgefather Lord Ingolf Kretsterson and Pad, the dog.
He's the one with the dog. We're getting that because
Because we're getting Forgefathers. The Veerman's Hacker Halftail, and we're getting him because we're getting the Veerman.
Yep.
The corporation is Major Lauren Chard, and we're getting her because we're getting corporations. Subject 901 we have to add because we're not getting him.
And we just looked at him at the beginning of the
Yeah,
broadcast here, and
he's cool.
I fear he's another Dr. Simmons. Dr. Simmons that looks good though.
But pre Redux Dr. Simmons. We don't know how Dr. Simmons is going to turn out Redux.
Yeah, but the sculpt hasn't changed, and she was terrible sculpt.
Yeah, so you think Subject 901 there is...
I would not shed a tear if Subject 901 didn't make the trip.
Oh, he's definitely coming.
Oh, then why are we talking about it?
The one that the question is the Asterion Tenor Go. The Asterion one, he looks a lot like just a
Black Talon.
Black Talon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think...
He has a dynamic pose.
but so does Black Talons. I think Black Talons have... The thing is, he's just concept art. He might turn out totally different. But.
That's true. Now, I am under... Like, I would think that a leader would have something different. All the other leaders are different. They've got there's a je ne sais quoi to them.
But the problem with the Asterions, what could you do different? They all look the same.
Well, yeah, if you want me to spitball, I could tell you about 100 things that it would make them look different.
Nah.
Give him, instead of those jetpacks in the back, I'd give him razor wings, like
that's
like
true.
Angel.
But that's very much like a 40k faction.
Oh, I
Looks
didn't know
just
that.
like that, yeah.
Okay, well then I would go completely different. Instead of the lithe, very sleek, sexy.
Make him actually a guy in a suit. And
Make him a guy in a suit and like make him old. He's been around a long time. And he's like, hey, that's a grizzled Asterion. I've never seen that before.
Yeah. There's Tyrant King Blaine Mercenary Leader, which I think, let me check, we might get that free.
The mercenary leader.
Let me check that.
Because
We might get Blaine. He might come with it. Maybe not.
because he's a Blaine and
He should, but maybe not. No, I guess not. Blaine does not come with it, so we might have to pick up a Blaine, eh?
Now we have Blaine for. Do we have all the Blaines?
No, we missed a few Blaines early on.
So I'm not too worried about that.
And then last of the heroes is the Veerman Tangle with the Malignus
Yes.
Bodyguard. Yeah, that's a no-brainer.
Yes.
What I didn't hear what you said.
Yes.
Big deal.
Anyone who doesn't like that sculpt doesn't have a soul. Anyone who just can't like feel childish giddy delight at looking at that sculpt. I don't.
He's pretty cool.
That's the kind of person
Coach
that ends
was
up
big into that sculpt too.
Yeah, that's the kind of person that ends up in a psychological evaluation. Like,
I see what you're saying.
so where are we financially? What's the?
Oh, we want to check in?
I do want to check in. That is very
Well, we're at 636 right now.
of 850.
No, 585.
585 or 8.
We're a little higher, a little above.
Well, we might have to remove some items.
That won't happen.
It might, because I'm thinking crazy boxes. I've never gotten a crazy box before. I might tell you just to throw a couple more into the...
Here's some infantry. We have all the Enforcer, different infantries. I don't think any of those are of interest, because it's just a bunch of guys we already have.
Yeah.
Especially if we get the Enforcer battle group.
This is for people who want to bulk up a Warpath army with what they have in mind. For us, one of those groups is a strike zone, or a strike. Why do I keep calling it a strike zone?
Because that's the podcast from our friend Adam.
Mr. Tremblay, you have corrupted my brain. From Miniature Mountain.
That's true. So, yes, there's the new Asterian drones. Comes with 5 drones and a new weapon platform. $8 for 5 drones and a weapon platform. Probably worth it, right?
Yeah.
Grab one of those. We could grab some more more corporation guys. I think we'll have an opportunity to get more of those.
Which I did petition. I did petition early that would be something, but I didn't know. You've made some purchases that I didn't think I should have known, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know for a fact.
I just didn't know. The next is Plague. We got to get some of the Plague 3rd gens just to try them out. We'll get 5 of those, just the new sculpts.
Yeah, we don't need them for their stat line. We don't need them for the numbers.
For you guys, we want to report on that.
I would like to see them in person, because the pictures we've seen, they look far improved, much improved, and for the show, we'll pick them up so we can, report adequately.
Yep, we got to tell you how as it is. And next is Bursters. You have a choice of 2 for $12 or 6 for $30. I think only 2. I don't think we need 6.
Depending on what the price point is, they might not even fit in the strike team. And
point cost,
we're above and beyond. I think we have to get them.
Yeah, we'll get those 2 because of new sculpts. We're getting all the new sculpts.
So that's the hard and fast rules for your purchasing.
Yeah.
All new sculpts, all vehicles,
and
all heroes.
Not all heroes, because we skipped the Asterian one, and Blaine. And then, of course, Murder Birds. We talked about those earlier, and they look awesome.
Yeah, they do.
So we're getting those 5 for $15. Zombies, we have a lot of zombies, and we can always get more zombies if we need to. Veermen, we're already getting the battle group. We don't need more Veermen. And that leads us into the accessories.
Now, the accessories, I'm pretty sure were...
I don't think we need any of these, really.
No, there was some new counters that I thought maybe might be...
We're getting the counters. They're coming. We're getting 2 sets of those counters already.
Yeah, like if someone wanted to...
we're getting a lot of command dice already. We have tons of D6. The tape measure, paint. It's a lot of D6 is all different faction dice, but...
And the paint, I don't know if... There's nothing there for us, I don't think.
No, I think that might be the end of our spending. So here's the totals here. We had store credit of $611, and then but the total we have here is $679 is our total spent.
So $60 above.
But then the shipping is $90.
Oh,
it is a lot of stuff to ship.
Oh,
imagine the size of each vehicle and everything. That's a lot of shipping. So I can see that. So right now we owe $158. And right now I'll go over everything we're getting. We're getting Forge Father Battle Group, Forge Father Vehicles, the Veerman Battle Group, Interceptor Battle Group, GCPS Battle Group, either the Enforcer Battle Group or the Veerman Tunneler. And the extra vehicles, we're getting the Plague/GCPS Flyer, and either the Veerman Tunneler or the Asterian vehicle. We're getting another GPS Flyer or Plague vehicle. We're getting the Asterian vehicle, if we didn't already get it in the free vehicles. We're getting the Plague Mule formation, which is 3 Plague Mules. 1 Forge Father Halter vehicle. The Strider formation, which is an extra $40. That's what pushed our money up a lot.
But I would go so far as to say the plague mules. We don't need that. That's a shocking purchase on my part.
We don't have any. Well, we can either get 1 or 3 for 40. I think that's worth it. The Virimentalo runners, 3 for 30. Subject 901. Virimentangle. Asterian infantry, 6. Plague through gens 5. Plague murderbirds 5, and plague bursters 2. That's a bunch of miniatures coming our way.
Yeah.
We said we're going big or going home. We went very big. But we got everything, pretty much. There's not much in this Kickstarter we didn't get.
I'm sweating a little. Got a little...
You're a little verklempt?
Yeah. A little dizzy spell going on. That's...
Okay, since Jack's going to the fainting couch, we'll take a quick break. We'll be right back, and we'll talk about some other stuff. We have some shout-outs and things we'll talk about.
Countercharge. Countercharge is the first podcast totally dedicated to the game Kings of War. Join your hosts Andrew, Mark, and Rob as they delve into the world of Mantica and bring you in-depth coverage of all things Kings of War. You can find us on iTunes and at ohiohammer.com, a proud member of the Ohio Hammer network of podcasts.
And now, back to your hosts, Rob Harper and Jack Pike. It is shout-outs time.
And we're back.
And we do have some shout-outs. We have one shout-out from Sam Thrower in Maryville, Missouri. And he sent us a message about Way to Fire / Frenzy. Because they changed it to Way to Fire / Frenzy with the brackets with the N. So it could be 1, 2, or 3, you're saying?
Yes.
And he said he listened to our discussion last time, and wonder if just re-rolling as many dice, but only the initial dice, not from the 8s, would that be not as powerful and be good? And I think that's a good idea.
To not allow exploding on
you don't
that.
You explode them, but you don't re-roll a miss on the 8. Because what now is if you roll them, you roll an 8. If you don't roll an 8 again, you get to re-roll it again. That's not right. I think you only get to re-roll once, and that's the initial roll. That's a really good idea. Sam,
and if you roll an 8 the second time,
then it keeps going. Yeah. But if you don't roll an 8, that's it. It ends it. You don't re-roll exploding 8s, that's all. You don't re-roll misses on exploding 8s. I think that's a good solution. It might be hard to explain in the rulebook.
Yeah, in my head, I'm trying to work through how you would say that, because they explode, but they don't at the same time.
Well, they explode, but you don't get to re-roll.
So that's exactly what I said.
Yeah.
Mathematically, it seems like
just a slight,
like it dulls it down just a little bit,
just enough to make it be worthwhile still. Because really, Way to Fire 1, you get to reroll 1. Who cares?
Yes, we've had that discussion. I think Way to Fire should be 3 is the
minimum. Yeah,
the minimum for an assault rifle type weapon. At some point,
see, I think Way to Fire is not bad as long as they do put the number higher. Like you say, don't put it 1 or 2, put it 3 or 4.
If the Z Derringer with Way to Fire comes out, okay, a 1. Tee-hee.
Should be a 2. You got 2 bullets.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I didn't think about that, but
yeah, it should be 3. You're right, because you get through 3 dice,
and plus now it gives you room to expand upwards with more dice.
Most likely you're not rolling more than 3 dice, but just in case you are, you get to reroll extras.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting point, and
I'm sure it would fix it. I think it would just be hard to say.
Yeah.
Now for a segment we call Our Stuff.
And as for our stuff, have you been painting anything, Jack?
Our stuff. I painted. You had recently made a massive purchase of Dust Tactics miniatures.
Yes.
Dust Warfare, whatever they're calling it now.
Dust Tactics.
They're in shambles, and literally you had no choice. The prices were so cheap at Miniature Market.
No, it wasn't Miniature Market. It was actually right from Fantasy Flight. They're trying to get rid of their last of their stock.
Well,
$9 for walkers and $5 or $4 for strike teams.
Full mechanized spider-legged vehicles, $9. So
yeah, I should have bought more. I regret not buying more now.
Well, we have to. No, we have Deadzone purchasing to do now.
I know, but they were so cheap.
They were titanically cheap. Either way, I painted a anti-aircraft gun walker and a small 2-legged mechanized
Yeah, two different walkers. Yeah.
Yeah, the two axis. We'll
take some pictures and put them up. And I painted a ton of SSU, which is the Russians, and a bunch of Allied walkers. And I am in the process of making something we're calling Dust Zone, which is we're statting up all the dust stuff for Dead Zone,
so that we can in fact use these vehicles and enjoy them on the battlefield without having
to remember the dust rules.
Yes, this has been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, so for our stuff, we've been patiently waiting, painting and building models from other companies, waiting for infestation to arrive, to the stork to drop it, and the parachute open, and it float down the chimney.
And I have, of course, been painting a lot of Kings of War, like I said before.
Yeah.
Halfway through my Reaper Bones Beastmen I'm making. So that's kind of fun. Just making up armies from all the random miniatures I own.
And I will be collecting my merfolk army. The latest releases was a aquatic themed army, and that's where I'm going to focus, I think.
Lots of fun stuff. But hopefully soon we'll get some Dead Zone to actually paint.
Yes, some infestation, and then that will make me a happy panda.
And if you want to check out their Dust Zone rules, we did put them up on Containment Protocols on Facebook. Or if you don't go on Facebook, you can always email me at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com, and I'll send them out to you if you'd like to check those out, and let us know what you think. We don't know about balancing, we're not sure about anything, but hopefully it'll work out.
Yeah, and that doesn't really matter anyways.
Yeah, as long as it's fun.
Yeah, so if you got a dust army just hanging around someplace, you're like, hey, I wish the Axis would fight the Enforcers. Well, now you can.
That's right. And we'll take one last break. We'll talk about some battle reports we did a while ago for the beta.
Yeah, now we can talk about them. We've had to keep a few, more than just a few games under our hats. Now, the details have been lost in the annals of time now. At this point, we've played so many games with rules that don't even exist anymore. As the rules progressed, we played different games, but we can do some highlights for you.
We can reminisce.
We can reminisce, wistfully stroke our chins and look up and just...
And we'll be right back.
It is time for a brief message from our friends at Iron Watch Magazine.
Do you like Mantic games? Do you want to read about your favorite games in a monthly magazine? Have we got the offer for you? Iron Watch Magazine. Iron Watch brings you the latest news, articles, and short stories taking place in the Mantic universe. Dreadball, Kings of War, Dead Zone, Warpath. You want it? They got it. ironwatch.wordpress.com. Get it now for the low price of free. You can't beat that at twice the price. That's ironwatch.wordpress.com. Download now.
Hey, this is Jack from the Deadzone Podcast, and you've been listening to the Deadzone Podcast.
With Jack from the Deadzone Podcast.
So much Deadzone Podcast, it'll make you vomit.
We now present to you a Dead Zone Battle Report.
And welcome back to the Dead Zone Podcast.
And this is Battle Reports. We did, this is the Redux beta tests back from the version before the current version. I think it was version 1.0 we were using at the time. And
it was probably the second version that got outside of Mantic as far as I know.
No, the coach said he had quite a few different versions, but it was
But it was pretty crude. He said that one was not even as refined as one of his first versions that he got right from the source. So we don't know exactly where it falls in, but it was pretty early on.
Yeah, it was a 1.0. So it was, and the one that was released as public beta was 1.3. So. And it had more than the 1.3 though, because it lost some stuff there.
Yes,
but it had different rules. Like we said, the hit points were 1 hit, 1 kill on size 1s and things like that. And we played just the basic with the VPs in the middle and 2 forces coming at each other. And the first game we played against was Plague versus Pathfinders. At the time, the Pathfinders were really expensive, and the Plague took all the VPs and dominated them. There wasn't much of a fight.
Yeah.
The only thing I tried to do is I tried to jump some Pathfinders on, I think this was the game. No, maybe it was a different game. I tried to kill your stage 1.
The VPs really seemed the way to go. In the version we were playing, almost all the games were won through...
By Jack for taking VPs with Plague, because they just ran right up on him and you couldn't get them off him.
And that was the thing...
Because they'd go last every round, so they'd just step on the VP at the end of every round, and then he'd get the points.
It was I'm not going to say cheap, but it was just I had more guys, and once he had moved, my guys would just sprint out with fast and jump on a VP at the end of the round, and it was being cheap. I'm just going to admit it. I lurked a bunch of guys, and then when he says, okay, you go, all of a sudden guys were coming out of nowhere and just like standing on a spot going, victory point.
Yeah.
So...
And since you collect victory points every round now, he would get 4 VPs a round. So it only took him 3 rounds, not to mention when he killed things, to win the games.
And I'm not saying that that's bad the way that works.
No, it was actually 6 VPs a round.
That is a far improvement from the way it did work. But remember, shooting had been neutered quite badly.
Yeah, it's not great. Enforcers were really neutered in this Redux.
And he fielded... an army, the point costs were different than even like the versions that came out publicly, and again, we were playing with 100-point armies.
Yeah,
100 points that were in this beta ended up being, I think, for the Plague, it ended up being equivalent to about a 60-point army in the original rules. And Enforcers were like down to about a 50-point army. Yeah, so there was balance issues and stuff. But what can I tell you? We took lots of pictures. You'll be able to see the
At least you get to see the nice mats by Mars. This one's the snow mat.
Oh.
It's a nice mat. And the second beta test we did was, once again, Jack had Plague. This time I tried... At the time, there wasn't much selection for forces. So I did the Enforcers. And this time I tried I had 2 Assault Enforcers try to jump down and kill his stage 1. But you grenaded them off the top before I got a chance.
They were on a catwalk, if I remember correctly. Yeah. And that brought up a point that this was before the jump pack.
Yeah, where we didn't realize the jump pack had changed at this point, yeah.
In one game, the Enforcers had gone across an opening as the old jetpacks did, which was far superior to what it's turned into now. Yeah. So, and then they were in a location where I wouldn't have been able to climb up without having agile or any of those things anymore. So I had to do the next best thing and hawk a grenade I'd picked up in a crate up there.
And once again, Jack took the VPs and dominated. But this time, the one Enforcer actually made it to the stage 1. He actually had a good fight with him. And it was only because Jack rolled quite well that it ended up not working. And eventually got a Plague Swarm on the rest of my guys and killed me off. And now the third beta test was the Plague, and I tried Rebs this time. And Jack was rolling like a madman. And
that was the theme. The one day that we played, I think it was maybe 2 games back-to-back where I could not be beat. Those dice were red hot. There's scorch marks remaining on that table. And it got to the point where it was almost...
ridiculous.
Yeah, it was almost where you just had to like laugh about it.
I wasn't laughing.
No, you got really mad.
Well, not to mention, it wasn't so much that, it was the grenade launchers. This is when we realized how powerful the grenade launchers were, because anytime I tried to do anything, you just grenade launcher me.
I had 2
mortars.
2...
no, grenade launcher guys.
Yeah, and they were shooting line of sight. Like, it was not like they were just hawking them up randomly into the air. But like the old rules, this is when all the squares around the square you hit were affected, not just pinned.
And these guys only had 1 hit point, don't forget, so if they got knocked off a building or hit into a wall, they could kill them.
So yeah, I was able to kind of dominate the area. He wasn't moving, and there was grenades.
I was moving, but you just kept grenading my guys.
I got my grenade guys up onto 2 buildings, like right off the hop. They had a full line of sight throughout the area, and it was just basically sending grenades into squares
And then I had sent a Teraton up to fight some zombies, and the zombies killed the Teraton.
3 zombies went mano a mano with.
But
a
it wasn't.
Teraton.
It was one zombie that killed him. It wasn't. You didn't even need the other guys.
But I think he did get the bonus rolls for having the 2 with him.
But anyways, Teraton got beat by zombies because Jack rolled crazy.
Yeah, well, that's true. And then I got full of myself because once the Teraton was gone, and that was the bulk of your army. Again, the points were not the same as they were. So they were. His army was the Teraton plus extras, and one of the extras was a Sorak sword spawn.
Yep.
And I got so full of myself, I just sent a zombie over there to fight one, and
he killed him.
I killed it.
I actually have a picture of all the exploding 8s he did, and this was before he rolled again and exploded even more. So there's 5 8s in this picture, plus I remember you exploded at least 2 more after that.
Yeah, I remember there was a lot.
It was just ridiculous. And so the zombies ended up winning the day. So that's some of the betas we played. We took some pictures for.
Yeah, but obviously we didn't document each and every one, and we didn't do photographic evidence for each one. Now, I'm hoping we're going to set up a system where we can do bat reps once we have a system going and the rules are down, so we can actually do like a battle report show here and there, showcasing the new rules and showcasing...
that is the question about... Personally, I don't like playing beta rules. I do it for the show, but... I like having finished rules. I don't like things changing all the time. And
in a perfect world, I would agree 100%. Yeah. I think at some point it feels like, we've wasted time because we've discussed rules that changed within hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so things change as we're playing, really. So
yeah, we literally we got some rules. We're going to talk to Coach in 24 hours, and between that time,
the day that we recorded, we talked about it. New rules had come out. So I agree.
So
I can't wait till they're locked down. We can just play them.
Some people love to
tinker,
like the rules committee.
They guys must be those kind of guys.
But it's different strokes for different folks.
Mm-hmm.
And me, I would like to see a finished product so we can then give. We're not here to. We could critique and we could discuss and we could do whatever, but we want to showcase the game, not what the game kind of is.
Yeah, what it has potential of being, and then worrying about balance and things like that. That's other people's job to worry about that.
Yeah, we're here to entertain. We're infotainment.
So as always, we're gonna wrap it up now. But is there anything else you want to talk about?
Just tell us which is it going to be the tunneler? Or is it going to be the enforcers?
Yep, let us know. And we have to get it in by February 29th, so come on, let us know. You got 2 months to let us know. And always go to cafepress.ca/Deadzone the Podcast. Buy some swag.
Yes.
Buy some shirts or something. Maybe we'll put some new shirts up. Anybody got an idea for a new shirt? Throw it to us, and we'll throw it up there.
And someone, the PayPal donation on the side of
That's right. A person who'd like to remain anonymous, thank you very much. We do appreciate that.
They asked not to be mentioned, and this happened a while ago, and we didn't. But we wanted to say thank you. And also, hey, if you didn't notice, on our website, there's a little PayPal button there.
Throw us some money so we can pay for our services on the Podbean.
Yeah, just even the bandwidth costs.
Yeah. That's really what we want to cover. And we did just spend $158 on Warpath.
And crazy boxes. I think I want a crazy box.
Crazy boxes are fun. And also, go to falleninfantry.wordpress.com. And I'm using Imager now to put up new pictures. So I put up a lot of pictures of the SSU and allies from Dust that I've painted up. And you can go check them out there.
Perfect.
And until next time, I've been Rob.
And I'm still Jack.
And thank you. Have a good new year. And we'll see you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Deadzone Podcast. I have been your announcer, William Randolph Wintergreen. Visit the website, deadzonegame.podbean.com. Email your hosts at deadzonepodcast@gmail.com. On Twitter, you can follow the show at Deadzone Podcast. The Deadzone Podcast is a production of Vinland Old Time Radio Productions. You have been listening to the Deadzone Podcast. And now, a word from the fine folks at Vinland Old Time Radio.
Vinland Old Time Radio.
It is to laugh.
Astro!
Ahoy there, Dirigible.
It's a gavel, a halter gavel.
Have you read The King in Yellow?
Africa's a continent?
It's with great protest.
Ooh, now that's a fine program.
VinlandOldTimeRadio.podbean.com.
I'm going to set this up so you can see the add-ons. Don't be confused and look at tampons.
Jesus, I won't. It's something I would never do. Why would you think I would do that?
When you're climbing a mountain. Oh, I meant crampons.
That makes more sense.
Add-ons.